Okay, it looks like the mic is on again this time. So this is the second take because it wasn't on the first time, which is probably just as well since it was very long, 10 minutes. You don't want that. So anyway, this is the file you sent me the first time. I just took your list of links and copied them over here to column L. Doesn't really matter where exactly you copy them. You probably know that yourself. And the first thing you got to do is select the first cell, press Ctrl Shift down. That highlights from until the next empty cell, and since they're all contiguous, the next empty cell is the end of the list. We're going to find and replace, Control H, we're just going to replace this string here that you use. I don't know where it comes from, but a browser wouldn't understand it. Beautiful Soup definitely won't. And replace it all with blanks. Perfect. We just want these URLs as they are, and we want for Beautiful Soup. Now, if I put that into a browser, it's fine. The browser will get it. Beautiful Soup won't. Beautiful Soup needs HTTPS at the start. So, and more importantly, for your Python list or dictionary or whatever it's called, you need quotes. So, in Excel, we're going to type equals double quotes, and inside double quotes, the text we want is just a single quote, and then close off that string. As well as a single quote, we want your URL, and as well as your URL, we want another single quote. And now after doing something stupid, in the first set of double quotes with a single quote, you want HTTPS : / So the start of a URL that the browser would infer, but Beautiful Soup will not. That's not what I want. There we go, not 0, just HTTPS : / your URL, and it's inside quotes, okay? So I'm going to go to the bottom of this list. I'm going to go over to the column we're working in, N. I'm going to press Ctrl Shift up to select every row in that column from the one I started on. Then I'm going to press Ctrl D to fill down to that row that I started on. And I will use the formula that we wrote, but it will update what cell we're referencing each time. So on row 83 we'll reference L83, on row 77 we'll reference L77, or L70 in this case. Anyway, we're going to select all those again, we're going to copy them out, we're going to paste special, we're just going to paste the values. So up here, paste values. Reason being we don't want these to be formulas. Now to make our comma separated list for the Python array. Basically it's an array of strings. Is what a list, or is it a dictionary? No, it's not a dictionary. I'm not too hot on the naming of the variable types in Python, but it's basic. You can think of it as an array of strings. So when we paste over these values, so we've got all our expanded URLs, each inside quotes. We're going to go to another column. We're going to go to the second row, and we're going to make this second row equal to, hold on, I've got Dvorak on. That there, Q1, and a comma, which is going to have to be inside quotes. I actually want a space either side of the comma, just stylistically, you don't actually need it. And then after the closing quotes there, we're going to use the second row. No, that's not what I want. Q2. Okay, so now you have a comma separated list with just 2 URLs, but you don't want that. You want all of your URLs in a comma separated list. So we're going to reference the formula that we just created, T2, the cell with that formula, and we're going to add a comma onto the end of that. So ampersand quote space comma space quote again, and finally ampersand Q3, the next URL that we want to tack onto this 2-item list, so we have a 3-item list. And then the next row we would get a 4-item list and a 5-item list, and then at the very bottom we would get a 83-item list. So I'm going down to the bottom row of this list and going over the column that we're putting formulas into at the moment, and I'm highlighting Control Shift up from there. And with all those cells that you want to fill highlighted, you press Control D, and just having filled in these two rows here, the third row references the second row, the fourth row references the third row, the fifth row references the fourth row, and so on until the 83rd row when you have this, the full list. So we copy it and we paste special the values, and now that's plain text, so you can copy that into Notepad or Notepad++, or as the case may be, PyScripter, whatever you're using. I use PyScripter, it's a nice tool. Decent little IDE. But anyway, as you can see, it's plain script, it's not plain text, it's not using any formulas, no silliness there, and that's all the input you need for that script, assuming it works the way it did for me.